Alright my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about this 39-inch ultra-wide LG monitor that I bought a couple of days ago. This is day 3 that I've been able to spend with this. I've been sitting here going through all of my games, just really trying to see which ones absolutely benefit from it and which ones are not exactly... Sorry guys, the camera was sitting a little bit weird. I was like, what the freak is going on? I've been testing a lot of my games, but I've also been reading a lot of your guys' feedback, and I keep getting, you know, like the same PPI, matte screen, all of this stuff, and people just complaining about it. Let's be clear, dude. If anybody, like if LG was to come to your house and give you one of these monitors for free, this thing would absolutely blow your mind. I'm literally coming from an LG C2 OLED to this essentially 1440p OLED monitor, and this is exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. Like I'm not disappointed with this monitor whatsoever. I get pretty much the same image clarity and quality that I get from my 32-inch LG Ultra Gear monitor right here, but now I get OLED and I get 240 hertz refresh rate. I've got a super wide screen, 800R, which in my opinion, my friends, is absolutely perfect for me. Literally perfect for me. Like I am not disappointed with any feature on this monitor yet. Like I haven't found anything that is like, ooh, I don't know about that. And this is me, man. This is like my personal gaming, what I bought for me. And yes, guys, there was a lot of other options out there that I was seriously considering. I was considering the new MSI monitors that came out. I was considering the new Asus monitors that came out. I was even considering maybe buying like an AOC or even one of them KTC monitors, you know, so that I could get something OLED, because that's what I've been wanting. And that's like 1440p has literally been the resolution that I wanted. I love 1440p. I think it's incredible. 4K is awesome. Don't get me wrong, guys. Like I love 4K too, but 1440p for me, it's just that sweet spot. It gives me that higher refresh rate. It gives me pretty dang good image quality. I actually like the way that 1440p looks in open world games more than I like 4K. I do like 4K, don't get me wrong. There are some titles and some games that absolutely take advantage of 4K and really look good because of that. But a lot of the stuff that I personally play and the games that are more of, you know, the things that like I'm most excited about, I am perfectly happy and actually happier with those on a 1440p display. Now I know you could be saying like, well, why don't you just put it at 1440p on your OLED? Well, see, that's the thing. Like it doesn't deliver that same image quality that I get from a native 1440p monitor when I downsample. So even with the ultra wide, this is something that I've really been testing, because I would normally utilize virtual super resolution with my AMD GPUs, and what I would do is I would bump that up to, you know, like 1800p, 4K, even 6K, depending on the game, how old the game is, and then I would let that downsample back to the 1440p resolution, which would essentially, you know, just cram all those 4K pixels down into, you know, a 1440p container, which would add a little bit more density to the overall image quality for me. And that to me looks better than any upscaling that we have on the market today. We have DLSS, we have FSR, we have XESS, we have TAA, we have TSR from, I mean, there's just so many. We have IGTI from you know, we have temporal injection. There's just so many different upscaling methods that we have now, that the one that rules them all, that is instantly superior, is downsampling. But you know, it does have that negative effect on the overall performance, whereas with upscaling you get performance back. With downsampling, you actually lose performance. So if you're going to utilize virtual super resolution, sometimes you might have to use things like FSR or DLSS or XeSS. You might have to utilize those to claw back some of that frame rate, but you're still getting that upscaled 4K downsampled to 1440p, which still looks pretty dang good. Not as good as native, but it still looks good enough to be convincing to where I'm satisfied with it. And that's pretty much all that really matters, is what am I satisfied with? What is it that I'm looking for? Now, I'm going to be honest, this here was like, this is the LG monitor that I've been looking at for a while. There was two LG monitors that I was looking at. There was another one that is 4K that is 240 hertz, but it also doubles as a 1080p monitor, and you can set the resolution at 1080p and then have an effective refresh rate of 480 hertz. I personally was like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, I like 1440p. I don't know if I want to go as far down as 1080p, but the really high refresh rate was like, I don't know, it's very tempting. But I ultimately settled for this one. And it's not even like I settled for it. I needed to go, like, Best Buy sent me an email saying that the monitor I've been looking at was on sale. So what I did was I got in the car and I went over to Best Buy and I looked at the display model that they had sitting right there in the store. Now they had the 45 inch as well as this one sitting there, and I was able to look at both of them before I even bought the monitor and before I even left the store. And they had they had that one game on there, Chorus. They had Chorus on there playing, and I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at on this monitor, and I'm absolutely just stunned. I'm blown away. I'm like, wow, this looks very, very good. And I remember sitting there looking at it, and I was like, okay, yep, I'm gonna pull the trigger. And I told the guy, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. Yeah, just let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And then, you know, it looked massive at the store, and it still is massive when I get it home. And I'm sitting here and I'm playing around with it, and I'm looking at it. When I'm setting up the HDR, when I turn on the light on the back, it's got this really cool RGB like light thing on there. I've got it set to like bright green for Froggy. It's like, this thing is incredible, man. Like, I love this thing. It is definitely a premium experience. I know that a lot of people are out there, you know, already telling me, I would have never bought a matte finish, or blah blah blah, or 800Rs, 2 blah blah blah, and I'm just like, guys, like, I get it, man. You guys are free to like whatever you like. I'm not opposed to you guys having whatever monitor is going to make you happy. Like, that doesn't hurt my feelings at all. But in some ways, my friends, like, it really does kind of feel like when I buy these products, it's almost like clockwork. It's like, no matter what, there's always somebody there with a negative comment. And 99.9% of the time, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, after I bought this and after I put out my review for it, I was like, you know what, man, I want to see if anybody else reviewed this monitor. And lo and behold, Hardware Unboxed, they did a review on it. There was actually a few of them. So I decided to watch a couple of those reviews today. A lot of those are like super technical. I'll never do my reviews like that. Like, this is a customer experience review channel. Like, I am not interested in doing all the graphs and numbers and all of the peak brightnesses and all of that. Like, I'm not interested in that whatsoever. I watched like 3 or 4 different reviews on this, and I came away thinking, like, dude, I don't even, like, why would anybody buy that monitor? That was the feeling I got listening to all of those reviews. I was like, why would anybody even buy this monitor? Like, who is this monitor good for? And that's the impression that I got when I left with those reviews. I was like, why? Like, what's this monitor good for? Like, it didn't answer a single question that I had. All it told me was a bunch of specs, a bunch of nerd specs that literally nobody cares about, that nobody can understand, that doesn't make sense to anybody, that are literally just talking points for people to flap their gums and pretend like they know what they're talking about. Like, let's put it this way. Like I said, I've got an LG C2. I've got a 32-inch IPS monitor, and now I have a 1440p OLED monitor. I'm blown away. I am absolutely ecstatic about the quality, the premium experience that I'm getting with this monitor. When I just have it sitting there and I'm looking at my YouTube channel, I can read the text. It's readable. Like, go figure. I'm like, even all the little things and icons everywhere on there, it all looks fine to me. Like, my eyes are not, like, I have pretty good eyesight. It looks good. It's not blurry. It's not fuzzy. It's not doing any of the things. Like, I used to get a lot of ghosting on the other 1440p monitor because it's an LCD screen. Now that's gone, my friends. It looks even better than what it was getting on that IPS monitor. I mean, it's pretty dang close to the LG C2. Like, it's pretty dang close. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm like looking at like a back and forth, and I'm like, whoa, man, that looks good. Yes, you can see the matte finish on it. It's definitely not as sharp and sparkly as the C2, but my gosh, man, like, when you're playing a game and you're immersed in this thing and you've just got like all the color like smacking you right in the face, and that OLED with the inky blacks and just the beautiful overall experience that this monitor produces, man, like, I'm blown away, guys. Like, I'm pretty excited about this. This is cool. I've like, you know, honestly, if I really had to be honest about like what kind of things make the biggest difference in overall gaming for me, a lot of people would think, oh yeah, the graphics card's gonna make, like, you're gonna be able to blah blah blah. If you've got a trash screen, it's not, I mean, you can have all the DLSS and FSR and all of that stuff that you want. If you don't have a good enough screen that's gonna let your GPUs actually push and work hard and deliver an image quality that everybody can be proud of, then it doesn't make a difference. And I am kind of at the point where, after buying the LG C2 and buying the LG 39-inch, you know, ultra wide monitor, I am one of those people that I'm like, okay, I think the screen definitely matters, and going forward, like, that's gonna be kind of a big part for the channel, because I do really think that the overall screen quality definitely has a lot to do with the overall image quality, because that's what I'm seeing. The more money I spend on these displays and the higher up I go, it really does help with the image quality. And like I was just saying, like, I'm not getting the ghosting anymore that I was getting previously on the other 1440p monitors. There is ways to mitigate it and make it not so bad. I mean, it was there and it was prevalent, you know, a lot of the time. But on the LG, you know, ultra wide monitor, it is not anywhere near as bad is what it was looking like on that. Like, there's no ghosting. Like, every character on my screen doesn't look like Johnny Cage doing a shadow kick anymore. It just looks, you know, nice and crisp, and all the pixels stay where they're supposed to be. So yeah, it looks pretty dang good, guys. Like, I'm absolutely satisfied with the overall quality and the experience that I'm getting from this monitor. Now, I've mainly played a lot of my open world games. I've gotten there and I've checked a lot of those out. I've checked a lot of my racing games out to see how those feel, and the extra curvature and length of the 21.9 on all my racing games, absolutely incredible. Like, I'm absolutely blown away. I just cannot express just how much of a difference that makes in sim racing. If you've got the opportunity to do this and you are a sim racer, yes, this monitor is actually perfect. It literally gives you the same size and dimensions that you would get from a 32-inch monitor. And as you've known, if you've been at the channel for a while, 32 inches is like kind of my sweet spot. So if I was to just put 16.9 instead of doing the 21.9, the monitor size is exactly the same size as my 32-inch monitor. So in turn, like, even if I have to just play at 16.9 and get the black bars on the side, I'm still right there in my comfort zone, right where I want to be with that type of experience. But playing like open world games and racing games, I just literally was playing some Flight Simulator, and oh my gosh, my friends, the experience that you get from ultra wide, I'm a believer now. That's all I can say, is I'm a believer. Ultra wide definitely makes a difference in the overall experience and how you're going to perceive and see what you're looking at on screen. Like, it is better, and having, you know, that 800R curvature that a lot of people seem to be complaining about on this, it looks fine. Like, it looks incredible. Like the sight, when I turn my eyes, like, I don't feel, it feels good. Like, I thought it was gonna kind of like fisheye thing. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was just gonna bubble out and look kind of weird, but it doesn't do that. It looks good. Like the way my peripheral vision, like when I'm in a racing game and stuff, like it looks good. Like, it actually looks like I'm, you know, like when I was riding a bike, I was doing a TT Isle of Man video, and oh my gosh, man, it really does look like the field of view is just flying by my face, as opposed to it just being like straight and static. It looks better. Like, it gives you a better sense of speed, and I was like, wow, this is absolutely mind-blowing. To be completely honest with you, like, being on those bikes on the Snaefell course, oh boy, like, it's already terrifying. Like, it's already terrifying in cockpit view. Or helmet cam. It's already terrifying. Like, it's like, whoa, this is a lot. But having that curvature of the screen and just how it makes it almost makes me feel like I've got a better sense of position on that bike and on that track. Like, I feel better about it. And it was the same way with WRC 10 when I was playing WRC 10 earlier, well, yesterday as well. I was playing in cockpit view, and it kind of does, like, I need to fix the camera and adjust it a little bit more than what I got, but like, the car is right there, and it's all kind of narrow, and you got like your narrow glass, but then like out the windows you have like the whole freaking side of the car, and you're looking at that, and the way it makes it feel, like I said, I do need to adjust it a little bit more so that I can get a little bit clarity in my driving forward, so that I can see what's coming and going and everything. But it actually centers your car right in the middle of the screen, whereas, you know, both of the sides are now like window, and it just gives you a better sense of position on the track while you're driving, which actually, it really does help. It really does help. Like, I believe it or not, like, it really does help. I like that, and that to me is like one of those sensory things that definitely help me do a lot better. So I like this monitor. There isn't any comment that anybody in the comment section is going to be able to say that's going to make me like it less, or not appreciate it, or not want it, or think that I paid too much money for it. I got a $400 off. This is a 2024 monitor. It literally came out this year, and they've already dropped the price, because $1,500 for a monitor is, yeah, it does seem a little bit high. Why do you think I waited? Why do you think I didn't rush out and buy one right when they first came out? Like, it was high, but $1,000, $1,100, yeah, that's definitely more in the price range of what I was expecting to pay for an OLED monitor. Like, I was expecting to pay for, you know, like a 32-inch at that price, but I'm excited that I got this at that price, guys. Like, I feel like I got a good deal. After using this, I feel like I got a good deal on this thing, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And that's why I keep making a lot of content on it. So I'm happy with this monitor, my friends. I think this thing is absolutely incredible. I love how it feels. It's very good fit with the 7900 XT so far. I will be testing out the 4080 Super on it eventually, but right now, guys, I'm having a lot of fun, and I just love the AMD experience. I do. I just love it. But I will be putting the 4080 back in there soon so that we can test that out and see how good it pushes, you know, ultra wide. Like I said, man, if the 7900 XT is pushing this thing really good, you know the 4080 Super is going to be a beast, and they're going to push this pretty well. So, all right, my friends, if you guys like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.